Welcome to my channel, Busy Doing Stuff. I'm rocking the midwinter bearded wonder look at the moment, so excuse that, but it's pretty cold and rainy in this part of New Zealand at the moment. So I've rearranged my lounge, and I've got out a lot of my collected vintage diecast. So I'll show you all that in this video. Okie dokie, so I've got another front room which I've turned into a lounge, and I've put some other bits and pieces out there. I moved one of the coffee tables out into there as well, so I've got this nice big floor area space in my house, and I must add that I own this house, so I can do what I want with it, which is nice. So if I want to have my collections displayed, I can do so it doesn't matter. And then one day, if I sell my house on, I'll just paint the walls, yeah, that will be fine. So it's amazing once you start hanging things up, you realize how many pinholes have been there for over 25 years, and since I moved in, and they were always there, you see. So it's funny that, because this wall here had lots and lots of pinholes from where the previous original owner, who I think built the house back in the late 60s, early 70s, they obviously had a lot of stuff hanging up. So I'll just show you out here, because if you watched my other video the other week, you saw that I purchased this Momo wheel. I've just hung it there for the meantime on display, just because I haven't got to doing any more work on the Ford Escort yet, because of the weather's been atrocious. It's an absolute storm outside at the moment. And then that was the Ginger Tiger that I got from the charity shop. And then my grandmother made these years ago. So anyway, so I put a selection of new premium castings on display, and I put some of the other ones away. So I just rotated them around, which is nice, give them a clean in the dust, put the other ones away and rotate and put some other ones out. That's my cat Katarina, that's her chair, that's why it's scratched up. So you've got to keep the some chairs for the cats, because I've got lots of house cats. So yeah, I've got some other stuff there, you know, the reading stuff that you need when you're a die-cast collector, obviously. So anyway, so yeah, it's got more floor space now, so I can I've got more room for my collections and stuff like that, which is good, and also for the tracks. So I got the 6-lane raceway out. So okay, the first thing, have you ever heard of tattoo machines? Now, these were released in 1993. Now, back in the day, if you were a kid of the 80s, you'd know exactly what these tattoos were. You used to get different types. You could get the ones that you wet down and then you stuck on your skin and the ink would transfer. Or you could get the ones where they were like a very thin plastic film, and they're almost like a sticker, but they were quite very thin, and they were better, they'd last longer. But I remember back in the 80s, if you went down to the local dairy corner shop and bought some candy or some collector cards, you'd get some tattoos. And yeah, funnily enough, it never inspired me to get tattoos. I don't actually have any tattoos. So never really inspired me to get any tattoos. I never really wanted any tattoos, to be honest. But I saw these and I just thought, for nostalgia purposes, this is just something really cool to add to the collection. And then this was mint on card. So I kind of remember that these kind of things you'd have up in a dairy, and then he'd have individual prices on them, and then whichever one you wanted, he'd rip it out, or the shop owner would rip that one out, and they're all individually carded with their different names on, which is pretty cool. So they've actually been given different names. Like this one, it's called Street Dog, and what's this one? Lightning Storm. It's very appropriate for tonight. And this one's called Hot Wheels, I think. I think normally that was called Street Beast, and also it was released as Race Bait 308, that Ferrari. And then of course this one was released as Baja Breaker, or what's the van? I always get them muddled up. Baja can't remember now. And then what's this one? Dragon Wagon. So you'd think that there's actually stuff behind that too, which is, oh no, that's just the top of the other card, eh? Yeah, it's just the top of the other card. So they were all individually carded, but I don't think I'm going to open these. I'm going to keep them as a display piece like that, to be honest. So then I moved out. I've got this box here. Move this out of the other room. That's full up with some track sets and other die-cast. And then that's great to put some other tracks on there. So yeah, and then I've got some other bits and pieces that I've collected. So I've got pulled the drawer out of pulled the drawer out, just so I've got all the bits and pieces. So I'll just go through some of this stuff. So this one here, this is a gift pack, and it's the World Cup USA 1994 5-pack. So very fitting, because the Soccer World Cup, or the Football World Cup's on at the moment. The Chevy Blazer 57 Chev with ultra hot wheels. And then that's the split window Corvette. And then another Corvette, and then that's a Camaro stock car. Very cool. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm not going to open these ones. I'm going to keep these all as they are and just display them as like a nostalgia piece in the collection. So that's very cool. And then I've got some blue cards. These are ones that I've collected since the beginning of the year, and I'm going to get them on display. So Chevy Lumina, that's a new model. Blue cards. Chevy minivan. Plastic base with a small wheel variation. Apparently you can get a larger wheel variation. Very cool nostalgia piece. Then I've got this one, Shock Factor. It's like modelled off a like an sort of back in the 80s, you used to get like Tamiya off-road race off-roaders, radio controlled off-roaders, and Very cool back in the day. That's a very cool one because it's actually featured on a lot of cards, on the back of a lot of cards, these ones. So very fitting and a very clean card, not oxidized or anything, good condition. Then I've got this one, Blazer 4x4 in silver. So I do have another Blazer up over there in the of a different Tampo color scheme. So just a very cool, solid quality casting, metal on metal with opening doors, and a very mint card. So the one I've got up there is loose, so it's always good to get ones on the card. Then I've got the Nissan Hardbody. This is a very, very popular sought after casting. So that's very cool, this one in the colour scheme. Quite often when you find this casting loose, it's minus the engine in the back. So it's always good to find one on the card, because then it's all complete. That's good. Then we've got a couple of loose cars. I showed one of these on the previous video, sneak peek, that I had the pink version of this one, and the seller had this one as well. Metal on metal, black walls. It's very hard to find any of these castings in mint condition. So the other pink one was in mint condition, but it turned up with a chip on it on the roof, unfortunately. Just the paint on these is very, very fragile and very easy to break, so I don't want to break that one. I mean, drop it, because you know Murphy's Law. If something's mint, you got to hold on to it tight, because otherwise it will slip out of your fingers and break. So this is the Gold Hot Ones, which is the wheel, the Gold Hot Ones variation, which is the first release of the 55 Chev. It's very cool. And that is Malaysia base. So these are all Malaysia base. Then we've got this one. Now this is one of my favorite castings. It's the what is it, the 40s Woody, and this is a high raker. So it's got the base plastic part that clips up. Now I've got this casting in the first release, 2 different color variations of the orange, one with the textured wooden plastic on the back and the flat plastic on the back, but I didn't have the I have the yellow one as well, but I didn't have the blue, the early blue. And when I saw this one on card, I didn't have any high rakers on card. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I've got to have this one. Now I believe, from the top of my head, this is a 1980 release. So does it say on there? 1979 copyright, made in Hong Kong. So this is a 1980 release. So you can see on there how the high raker works. So yeah, blue variation doesn't come up very often, so good to have it on card. So very good. So anyway, and then the next one came with this from the same seller. Now this is another casting that you can find it's quite common, but find one mint on card, and also to find one that's not damaged. I've seen this quite a lot, selling for not a lot of money, but they're always in terrible condition, chipped up. So to get one mint condition in the card for the collection is also very good, and unpunched card as well. So High Raker 1980. Now this was the first edition, first release of the 3-window 34, which is also a very, in my opinion, sought after casting. Very classic casting. Okay, so and I've got some other later blue cards. So they, from the early blue cards, they went into these blue cards. So they had the blue fade into white, which is really how Hot Wheels cards are now. Even today, they've got the white at the bottom. They're more solid now, going from blue to solid white down to the bottom. So this one here, Radar Ranger. Cool, chunky, heavy casting, which is very cool. Oh, so I'm just knocking them over. I try not to knock them over. Then we have Technobit series Shadow Jet 2. So I didn't have Shadow Jet 2 in the collection, so I was like, okay, it's a bit of a quirky, weird looking casting, but nonetheless, good to add it in. In the next one, we have Flying Aces series Dogfighter. So I got these very cheap. I think I only paid like $1 each for these, but it's like anything, it's good to get some of these quirkier castings for the collection. Actually, I can't remember. I think maybe they were like a part of a $1 reserve auction, group auction, and I think I got them for a super good cheap deal. 1998 first edition, Sweet 16. Another very quite quirky casting. Purpley metallic painted metal base. And then last but not least of this lot, it's the Rocking Rod series. It's Twang Thang. Guitar car style. So yeah, Twang Thang. There's a guitar on the side. This is pretty cool. Cool track set up there. And then I got some, now I bought a track set, and they were called XY Racers. Now they're the 1990s version of the cars, where the Hot Wheels cars that they have like a little, I think they're like a battery or a capacitor in them, and you charge them up, and then they scream off 90 miles an hour with a so they're powered with a little electric motor in them. So I got the track set, and it came with about 7 cars. So I'll do a video on these ones coming up. So I'll need to clean them and test them, and then see if they'll charge and run, and then I'll have to put the track set together. It's called the Daytona 500 Speedway track set from XY Racers. Now Hot Wheels actually did very similar. They started off in the 1970s with something very similar called the Sizzlers. And Sizzlers were exactly the same kind of thing, which were like a little battery capacitor inside with a little electric motor and a racetrack that you could race them around. So these ones here, so very cool. I don't know what any of these are actually called. It says Thunder Roller on it, so I presume that's the name. So yeah, hopefully these work, but I think you can still get the batteries for them. You have to take them apart and then solder a new capacitor battery in them. But I think they're very cheap. They're only a couple of bucks for one of these little batteries. They don't take very long to charge, only a few seconds, and then they'll run for probably about a minute around the track. And I think these are the original cars that came on the track. These ones. Daytona 500 Speedway race. So yeah, now having this big cleared area, we can put the track in the middle there for the video, which is good. And then this truck here, very cool. Does it say on it what it is? No. And then they've got these chargers that you put the batteries in the bottom, and then this is how you charge the car. You pop them on there and they'll charge up, start spinning the wheels. And another one. So got two of these with and then the track actually has these little pit areas for each individual one, you see. So and then I have these ones as well. They're called Power Command. Now these came up for sale, and they were a full set. And apparently these are quite difficult to find in mint condition, and they're very hard to find on card. Now what these are little pullback cars by Hot Wheels. They're die cast in plastic. So the powered race car that takes off at your command. So it's got a picture of a kid blowing on the back of the wing. And what you do is they've got wings on the back. You pull them back, they lock, and then when you blow on the back, they shoot off, zoom off. So they're like a slightly more advanced type of pullback car. So yet again, something just really cool to have as part of the collection. The vintage stuff. Now I didn't get any of the Ferraris, unfortunately, but I did get everything else in the set. So they're a slightly bigger scale than a Hot Wheels car, but only ever so slightly. I think that's more the proportions because of the wheel sticking out. But apart from that, I think the castings, they're shared castings, so they're very similar. Z28 Camaro and the Chevy stock car. So very cool. So some of my favourite castings, these ones. I've got them in different tempos. So they're just good to have in the collection. 57 Chev, Z28 Camaro. So this one here, I opened one of them up because it's a double. The bottom one here, that's in that tempo and colour scheme's not a double, but the one up the top is a double. So I'll take this one out. I'll just hold this. I'll just take this one out and then I can demonstrate on the track how it works. So it's got Kroger Goodyear on there. That's the wing. Very softly sprung wing. That's the stock car. So this one here, you can either lock the wing off, so it just acts like a normal pullback, or you lock the wing on to activate the wing. Okay, so what we will do, we'll go down onto the track and I'll demonstrate how it works. I'll put it down here, so you just pull it back like a normal little pullback. Right. So once it's pulled back, put it down like that, and then you just blow on it carefully. If I can actually blow on it, probably not from here, but I'll just activate it with my finger. So very lightly just tap on that and then away it goes. So they're very fast. They work really well. So despite after so many years, it still works perfectly well and it's still mint condition. So what you can do, you can put it up on the track like so. It will sit there, and then I can get another car from here, like the 24/7. I'll go and put that on the track as well, alongside it. And then what we can do if we want to set it off, what we can do is we can lock that off, and then we can pull it back like a normal pullback until it clicks. You know, once it clicks, that's it. Pop it down like that, and then we can let it go. You see how fast it is in comparison. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked me sharing some of my classic vintage Hot Wheels diecast castings that I've collected since about Christmas. And stay tuned for more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it's completely free. Thanks very much. Over and out.